Faster.
Good morning, folks.
Good morning.
I believe the brand new year is running well for all, and all the list of resolutions are still alive, right? Yes. Today, for a few minutes, we are just going through some common habits of winners, some common habits of champions. So it's always better if you are saying something about champions, the medium of sports is always better, right? When we are going through, when hearing that word champion, what are the, you may have some names of team or individuals. Can I have some?
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt, Arsenal, Australian cricket team, Mike Tyson.
Myself.
Yeah, yourself. Yeah, Muhammad Ali. So we have read all lots of books about winners, their what is their winning strategy, their goals and all. And did any of you, did we ever think about what gives them that winning edge? Did you ever think why some teams only keep winning and others are winning for a while and reach the extreme peak and plumb the depth? And what causes the winning edge to break? We all know in the current scenario, most of the organization or the teams, there are always because the system is, everything is changed. In the corporates or in the organization or in the team, always they are concentrating to create a positive environment as a base. If you are creating a positive environment in a team, we don't want to keep on asking to players to perform it. If you create a positive environment, the talent will show. I'll give you an example. Last few weeks, again, our Saurav Ganguly was discussed in the news. On what reason? Presidentship of BCCA. But the next day his answer was came, I'm not deserved for that. Simple. So that chapter is closed that day itself. But after there was an interview with him, lots of questions asked, and one among them usually will go to his cricket. And whenever Sachin says something about his cricket, usually one name will come along with that. The best player which he spent time with. Who was that?
Ganguly.
Ganguly. Best ever opening partners of Indian cricket. Sachin. So when he started to speak about Sachin, he was saying, I did never talk to Sachin before he going to any match. Sachin, could you please score this much run for this match? Or we need a 50 from you. Or we need 100 from you for this match because this is crucial, this is semi-final, final. He didn't ever say that. But he was saying, I was just creating that positive environment because people are going from the dressing room direct to the field. He is just creating that positive environment in the dressing room. He was saying, if the environment in the, or the atmosphere in the dressing room is not conducive, Sachin will be totally, you will filled with lots of negative energy and all. And I believe that is the main, one of the main thing we most of us believe he is the best. He has the same strategy even in the dressing room or in the ground. He created that positive environment to the people. And we know why some winnings means that the champions they break. What causes the winning cycle to break? Some people keep winning and sometimes it breaks. There is two reasons mainly for that. One is discourse happen or that type of conflict happen due to people concentrating on their personal target or personal goal. You may know there is a common term in cricket, nervous 90. Do anyone know about that? What is that? Nervous 90?
That's you take more time to score from 90 to 100.
Yeah,
Mostly
they are lagging. They are taking more than 20-25 balls on people. And we have list of people, whenever we are hearing that nervous 90, few people are coming to our mind, and I'm not asking you that. Between 90 and 99, people are keep on losing their wickets. Can you guess what will be the main reason behind that? Few reasons. Why people are going out between 9 and 99, 90 and 99? Yeah, it's a pressure.
Focusing too much on that number.
Focusing too much on that number, they are too much concerned or worrying about that digit, 100. Can you guess who scored the highest 100? Sachin, 100,000, hundreds. So the same time, who gone out in the most between 9 and 99?
22 times I think Sachin lost.
Sachin is highest, he out 27 times in all the format of cricket, 20, Test and one day. He was the one who out most. So can you just go back to that period of 90s, how opponent captain, especially Steve-O, was handling, I think you people can digest cricket, right? Most of you. How opponent captains are tackling him while he reached in 90 or 92, something between edge of 100? They are using same strategy, most of the captains.
White balls, they give the white balls.
Yes. 3 sleeps, one at Gurley, one at point, and few at the silly point, and keep bowling right outside the off stump. 3-4 balls, it's done. Can any captain, I'm not saying it's happened, but this is a strategy what captains are using. But do any captain can dare to do the same strategy against Virendra Sehwag or Kohli? Be ready with a stretcher for the point fielder, right? So you will not dare to do that. Second reason behind that, when we are giving, why this cycle break, when we let our youngsters or young blood for a long time in a side pitch. Whenever we are saying because highest team or strongest team in cricket, even though they are not that much fine for last couple of weeks or months, still we are talking about Australia, right? What is the main secret? How they kept their maximum keep winning means they always keep on winning. They are most convinced in that way because to keep on winning, you are kept strongest score always. What is some secret behind that? There is their physique, their professionalism, there are a lot. But I believe biggest thing is they had a heart. The same thing now most of the organizational corporates has. This is their harsh or it's almost its brutal exit policy. If it's Marco, Steve or whoever it is, if he is not playing couple of tournaments in a good manner, he'll be out of the team. There is no worry which club or which area, south or west, they are not bothering about that. You know about that. When Steve was decided to resign, his biggest, he wished to do this final match from India in 2004. And he was almost prepared for that. But he was no more remaining till that time. And the same thing happened to Ian Healy, their former wicket keeper. He wished to play his last match in Sydney, his home ground. But at the same time, Adam Gilchrist was waiting outside. He gone out. Didn't get them a chance for that. So Adam Gilchrist, because you can transfer the same to the company or organization, I'm just using these things. When Adam Gilchrist has recruited or hired to the team, he is well aware he got this opportunity only because of that harsh or brutal exit policy of Australian cricket team. So he is sure that if tomorrow or day after tomorrow he is losing his form, he will be flushed out from the team. So I think this may be the main reason behind that. He maintained all the extremely good form from the beginning till he resigned the team. He was an attacking batsman, still he was too much consistent. Yeah, and some team is always, we told you why it's that winning cycle break. And the second thing, some team couldn't continue their winning cycle going. We all know, can you guess which is the best chasing in international cricket? One day?
South Africa.
Yeah. How much run was that?
430.
430. Who was the opponent? Australia. 436 the run they chased and they have won. 436 run. The same South Africa, whenever we are thinking about cricket or football, In one side, Argentina in football or South Africa, both give us lots of disappointment. They have a good, superb score, and at the same time they lost. In the World Cup, they couldn't achieve that much. Can anyone remember about that 1999 World Cup semi-final, South Africa versus Australia? What side was that? Yeah, Alan Ronald and Lance Klusener. The target was something about 213 or something against Australia. And last one over, you watch that match, right? Only 9 runs they need to win. Because it's two sides, you can just tell this to you can see that match. 2 minutes. What happened that time? See what happened? There are only 9 runs in the last over. First ball, because he was taken, I think, more than 16 runs, Lance Klusener. Here he can beat anybody he wanted. That was 4 minutes. First ball was a good 4. Stephen Fleming was bowling. Second one is repeating the same. So now they have 4 more balls and they need only 1 run. Because Lance Klusener was playing for the 4th or 5th position, and he was, I think he scored more than 60 runs. And he's in the form he can beat anywhere, but non-striker it was Alan Ronald. And see, Ronnie, you can just see the body language of Australian team. They are almost lost in match because the other opponent team need only 1 running 4 balls. Just look into the Australian faces and I see Ronnie is sitting over there. Just the same. They might just miss the throw is supposed to out. But fortunately they got this. They only 1 running 3 balls. Just to see what happens. First of all, let's see this play. Fourth ball, it was an existent run. The previous one was non-existent run, but both of them chopped and froze in between the trees. Everything gone. Means they have first they run for a non-existent run, second proceed. After this match, this winded up in like this way. We all, Afif has mentioned about also something about fear. But we can see in such situation we are facing, and we all say in fear, which is the biggest fear in our life? Fear of losing, but sometimes fear of winning is much greater than fear of losing. We may face that, maybe somewhere in our office or in our some other, and once this match finished, Dave Watmore, the world, I believe the greatest cricket coach, Dave Watmore, who designed the entire destiny of Sri Lankan cricket, he was saying, there is 3 types of people or team. One is winners, another one is losers. The third one is who didn't learn yet how to win the match. This happened, maybe most of us maybe face that, and this is the thing. And for we have lots of new faces here. I request all of you, and you may. How many minutes? Yeah.
Extra time.
In the last of end of 90s or the beginning of 2000, there are 2 players, 2 youngsters came into the cricket. One is Michael Clarke for Australia, other one is Mohammad Ashraful for Bangladesh. Cricket experts or all the commentators were saying both are equally talented, and the Mohammad Ashraful is going to change the entire destiny of the Bangladesh cricket team, like how Arun Dizimwar yesterday did for Sri Lanka. But unfortunately, you know what happens? Remaining is history. Michael Curry became the captain of a winning squad. In 2005, they were champion in the captaincy of Michael Curry. He got into the extreme level of Australian cricket team. At the same time, what happened to Mohammad Ashraful? Vanished. Because during the grooming time of Mohammad Ashraful, Michael Clarke, he was sharing dressing room with the likes of Shane Ward, Matthew Hayden, Adam Gilchrist, Ricky Ponting, all the entire squad of team, they are always playing for a victory or playing for a win. And from them they learned how to win, how to close a match. But at the same time, the other team, Mohammad Ashraful joined into a squad, they were always playing to just avoid a loss. This is the difference in both the environment. Both are equally talented. And I'm saying the same thing, I'm repeating the same thing for all my new faces. We all are talented. We all are talented. That's why we got such promotion and all, as our brother said. We all are equally talented. What happens to the people? Some getting good environment to polish it, or some getting some good opportunity to keep it polished. So we welcome you, all of the new faces. It should not be your final session of Talkmaster. Keep coming here. Be a regular member of Talkmasters. Thank you. Good.